Hello everyone and welcome to week number 3 of building KASHYYYK, the Imperial Refinery from Jedi Fallen Order. Now this is going to be a sick episode. We have a lot of work to do, especially on the new brick vault tie that I've just got all the pieces for. We're finally getting that completed this week. I've got some cool time lapses of that, and we're going to get some work done on the actual base itself as well. We're going to get some filler brick down, we're going to get some different stuff done, and it's going to be a really good episode. I hope you guys are excited. I definitely am, so I think it's time we get started. But before we do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you end up enjoying this episode. But with that being said, let's get started. So like I said before, every piece of the TIE Fighter has now arrived, apart from one which I had to order on lego.com, but hopefully that's not a structural piece, that is just a decorative piece. So we can get started on the TIE Fighter now. We're going to head straight into the time lapses. I did this over the course of one live stream to start with, and then I did a bit of building in my own time. So we're going to go through some time lapses and see how the TIE Fighter comes together. It's a really awesome model, but let's get started. So after about an hour on the live stream now, we finished about 3/4 of the cockpit right here. Obviously we still have the big wings to do, but yeah, it's a really fun build so far and I can't wait to get more done. So let's head back into some time lapses. And that is the cockpit done. You can see there's a couple of open studs. Those are where I'm missing a couple of pieces that are coming from lego.com. Hopefully they won't be too long until they arrive. But yeah, really fun so far. Let's start on the wings and see how we get on. And there it is, the brick vault TIE Fighter. I can't tell you enough how big of a fan I am of this model. It is absolutely incredible. There were some fiddly bits, but overall it came out really, really nicely. There's some extra pieces right here, which are for the actual stand itself. I'm not going to put together the stand just yet, but I might do very, very soon. But yeah, let's place this on the model and see how it looks on the actual mock itself. I think this is going to be a really, really nice addition, and I think it's just so big and so detailed that I love the way it turned out. But of course, this is a KASHYYYK episode, so let's get some more work done on the actual mock itself. So the first thing I've done is actually raise up the entire bottom section, or at least a portion of it, to the right height that it's going to be for the actual terrain details, so I can start to work on a few different things that I'm going to add into this section right here. So if we remove this first place plate right here, you can see we have that border design that I showed in the last episode. I will be tweaking it a little bit. I think a couple of comments suggested using some more cheese slopes and stuff, just the small 1x1 cheese slopes, so I'm definitely going to add a couple of those in there and try and adapt this a little tiny bit, but overall I'm really happy with the way it looks. And we have it rounding off into the actual terrain. Now I'm going to lay down a load of dark green plates and then plate this entire area off just at this 2 brick high level, and then I can add in whatever bits of different snot and different things like that I want to. And then once I've got all of this to the right level, I can really start to work on what's going to go on here, whether it be a tree stump or some rocks or some different foliage, different trees and things like that. So I definitely want to get started on this. I can't wait to get into this. It's definitely going to be another color that I haven't really used much. Same with my castle, I hadn't really used much olive green. Now I haven't really used much dark green, so I want to try and improve that, order loads of dark green pieces, and also incorporate loads of different regular green, bright green, as well as brown, and different muddy areas into this section right here. I definitely want to make it look as natural as possible, and I can't wait to start working on this bit of terrain. So then last week I mentioned a little bit more about how I'm going to slope up into the next raised platform, and I use these grates as sort of an idea of how I'm going to angle them outwards and sort of raise up the next section to the side of it. I did also work on a small prototype for what the next area is going to look like. So I'll show you a photo on screen first of all, and you can see basically we have this sort of almost square with the sort of diagonal bit running across the middle. Now diagonals are actually super hard in Lego. I don't know why. Sort of getting this all to fit together nicely took ages, and I really like the way it sort of came out, and I came up with this nice design using a load of different snot techniques, probably one of the most complicated bits of snot work I've ever done, and I'm really happy with this. Obviously it's sitting at an angle outwards, and it sort of represents this sloped section as we raise up into the top section there. I also wanted to make a design so it would be sort of modular, so I could use 3 or 4 of these to sort of fit together to make a different section right here. So basically all I need to do is replicate them and change them a little bit each time, and then I can work out where these are going to go in the mock. But I'm really happy with this. Basically looking from the upper section to the lower section, I wanted to have 2 of these on the right hand side and then 3 sections on the left hand side, the middle one being an actual opening or a little doorway right here, as you can see in this photo. So I wanted to have the sizings and proportions worked out, so then I could go ahead and add this in and make sure I had exactly the right amount of room within the section, and I can basically work out where I want different things such as the ramp as well as the wall on the far side, depending on how wide these little sections are. So I'm really happy with the way this came out. Let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. I definitely think it's a complicated technique. All of the colored areas are obviously just filler and they will be replaced with black, and I think this will look a lot better when I do that. Getting this sorted and worked out definitely was important as well, because it dictates how tall I need the actual upper landing platform to be. Now you can see this is actually relatively tall and maybe a bit higher than I would have wanted, but I'm happy with the way it came out, and I don't think it's going to be too big of a problem if I have it quite high. It does just mean the ramp is going to have to be relatively steep, but I'm pretty happy with that. So let me know what you think of this in the comments, and I hope I explained that well enough to you guys for you to get a good understanding of what I'm talking about. So then based on the width of my prototype, I took a brick and started to measure out where I wanted things to go. So I placed this first brick, and then I wanted to work out how wide I wanted the ramp. So I placed this plate right here. I think that was a fitting width for the actual ramp itself, and worked out where that was going to go, and then moved this brick over to sort of mark out where that's going to be. And then after this, I removed this piece, which is the same width as my prototype, added this in here for the first section, and then wanted to make a couple more of these. I think I want 3 on this side, so I added this next green one in here, and then I moved the red one over so I could see exactly where this would be ending. So it turns out my estimate was pretty spot on, as this is where I placed the far wall, so I had to move it in by 1, but I'm going to leave that for like a little bit of wiggle room right now just to work out where things are going to go. But I'm pretty happy with the size of that prototype and the sort of areas it's going to be in. Okay, so now it's time to have a look through my plant piece bin and find some pieces to use to make a bit of progress on the actual foliage, and get a little look at what we're going to be doing across the entire mock when it comes to foliage, when it comes to grass and different things like that. So let's go ahead and show you everything that I've worked on so far. So you can see I've pretty much added in a load of dark green plates along here, and you can see I've added in a load of foliage and tiles and things like that in both green, bright green, dark green and brown as well. So this is looking really good in my opinion. I really want to have a densely packed area of foliage and a couple areas of different rocks and stuff mixed in there, and I think this is looking really nice. Let me know what you think of this so far. I'm currently waiting on a couple more of those big dark green plates to come so I can carry on working on this and expanding this. But yeah, hopefully that's something we're going to be getting done in the next few weeks, and I'm really excited to get started on that. But without further ado, the last thing I have to show you this week is a giant package from lego.com that's just arrived, so let's head straight into that. Okay, so this package finally arrived. I ordered this early January when I first started to plan out my mock. It's now March and this has finally come. So we're going to have a look at what we ordered from lego.com. So this was from the pick-a-brick system. It's a really, really good way to get parts in bulk, especially brand new parts as well, which is really, really good. So these have finally arrived. You can get a sneak peek there as to what we've ordered. But let's have a little look through everything that we picked up. Okay, so for once, these actually are coming in sort of like bags individually wrapped. Usually they all come bulked together, which is not ideal. But yeah, you can see here we have a total of 200 1x3s in dark bluish grey. Always good just to get more of these. And they were pretty cheap. I believe this was only about £20 to get 200, which is pretty good in the grand scheme of things, especially all brand new and in great quality right there. Then we got another 200 of the flat tiles. These are just the 2x2 tiles in dark grey as well. Now these came to a total of £12, 6p each for these. Really, really good deal. I think I have 2 more bricks and pieces orders, both with more of these tiles, but yeah, you can never have too many dark grey tiles. The only non-dark grey element was these olive green leaves right here. I got a total of 20 more of these. They're so expensive. I think this came to around £2.40 for all of these different 20 leaves right here, and you can see those are mixed in with 50 of the ingot pieces in dark grey as well. Now these actually came to a pretty decent price. I think they're like 5p each as well, so that's pretty good right there. And again, I have more coming from lego.com, but that is a really, really big part of it. I did order these mainly for my castle mock, but again, they'll be useful in the foliage of KASHYYYK. Then we have a grand total of 100 of these 2x3 bricks. These are pretty good in dark grey as well. And you guessed it, of course, the final thing is more dark grey bricks. This is 100 of the 1x4 bricks as well. So this is really useful to get a load more dark grey bricks in high quantity to use on KASHYYYK. So that's going to be really, really useful. You can see we've got a ton of awesome stuff in this package right here. I did mention I've got a couple more Lego bricks and pieces orders coming, as well as a load of bricklink orders coming for this mock so far. So those will definitely be useful and will be arriving in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, guys. Make sure you let me know what you thought of this in the comment section down below. This is a pretty sick haul and I've got some pretty cool stuff done this week. I really enjoyed building that TIE fighter and I think the progress that I've got done has been really, really good as well. So let me know what you thought in the comments. Again, leave a like, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss this. This is a weekly segment that comes out every single week here on the channel. These come out on Saturdays, but if you do want to see these a couple days early every week, make sure to hit that join button down below and become a member of the channel. That way you'll get early access to the KASHYYYK episodes every single week. Before we end the episode, I want to say a huge thank you to Direct KW and Austrian Brick Time for their donations on this week's live stream. Thank you so much, guys. It really does mean a lot and I can't wait to do more Lego live streams, both building KASHYYYK and other sets and stuff like that. So make sure you come along to those. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.